Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Divorce-a-Palooza. When I was going through my divorce, I had two kids who were 3 and 5. And it was only the year 2008. So there were not the resources that we have now to help people in all different ways. And one of those ways was co-parenting. We had so much resentment, so much anger. We were both scared for finances, for being single parents. And so we split apart. We didn't bond together and do what was best for our kids. I really am ashamed to say that, but it's true. But we didn't know. We were just scared people who had a lot of anger and resentment towards each other. And I want to tell you now, I don't have a good co-parenting relationship, and my kids are 21 and 23. How sad is that? So today I want to talk about the difficulties of co-parenting, along with some things you can do to have a healthy relationship that is going to make the kids so happy and healthy and is going to change your life for the better. I have the best guest to talk about this with. Her name is Trina Nudson, and Trina, it's going to take me a while to tell everybody your experience. So Trina has worked, I'm just going to list a few things she's done. She's been a foster care social worker, a juvenile corrections officer, a juvenile intake coordinator and case manager, a truancy diversion officer. She's a licensed social worker, a divorce attorney, a certified mediator, a parenting coordinator, and a certified divorce coach and conflict management coach. So what I have to say about Trina is she's so qualified to talk about this, and she developed this amazing program that we're going to get into called BEH2O. Hi, Trina.
Hi, Jackie. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Did I leave anything out? I'm sure I left a few jobs out.
Well, I think the biggest thing that you left out is that I have a social service agency called the Lane Project, and I founded a nonprofit, the Lane Project for Families. And ironically, it's the entrepreneurial journey that really has helped me be able to help parents the most.
Well, I cannot wait to get your opinion on this. So, Trina, isn't that so sad, my story that I told about two parents who love their kids dearly, who just didn't have the resources or the knowledge to be good co-parents? I mean, we weren't the worst parents in the world, but we could have been so much better had we had the knowledge and learned these skills. What do you think?
Well, I think I went to a training several years back. Judge Cohen, he's retired now, he's out of Arizona. And he said something really profound to me that really transformed how I began to work with parents. And what he said is parents don't do these things in spite of their kids, they do them for their kids. So everything that you did that you now look at and like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. You are human, Jackie. You are in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And when we're triggered by the person that we're no longer in a relationship with because we were hurt by them, we no longer agree, we get swept up in the survival response that was meant to help us survive. And unfortunately, it causes us more often than not to create our own biggest fears. So,
Well,
yes, it's sad, but we can use that knowledge to help safeguard other children's childhoods.
thank you for saying that. It's very validating, and it is true. And I just am so thankful that there are resources now to help people co-parent. And I see people getting divorced and having such a better relationship with the training to be good co-parents. So tell me, first of all, you have a personal story, right, about this? And I mean, in addition to all of your training, this was personal for you as well.
Well, the name of my social service agency is called the Lane Project. Lane is actually my stepdaughter. I met her 3 days before her first birthday. At the same time, my then boyfriend, now husband, met her. She is now 24 now. We were blessed because Lane's mom is an amazing human. And she graciously let opened her arms and let us into her world. But that's not how most situations are. And even though she was so gracious and our relationship worked, it didn't mean it wasn't a project. It was hard because when two parents don't agree, it's difficult. Here, let my child go stay with someone who parents in a way that I don't agree with. That is scary. You want what's best for your kids and you parent the way you parent because you truly think that's what's best. But now you have to take your child and say, okay, go to daddy's or go to mommy's. They're going to parent you in a way completely different than mine. And then we're at odds. We're scared.
Trina, you're so right. And I remember thinking my kids are going to go to my ex's and eat junk food and not brush their teeth before they go to bed. And now I look back and I say, okay, so what? What was the difference? Why did I make such a big deal out of it? You have to respect each other's parenting plans and I mean, not parenting plans. You have to accept each other's parenting styles and realize that you don't have control over certain things. Am I correct?
Yes, I think where we miss it is a lot of parenting programs, they teach you behaviors. They teach you behaviors, and as parents, we can't perform those behaviors. Don't speak ill about your co-parent, right? Support that relationship. But you're looking at it like, I can't. That parent doesn't parent the way I want my child parented. So we have to really shift our paradigm and look at it completely differently. Our children are more well-rounded because of our differences. We do the loving kindness meditation in my work with parents. May I be happy, may I be well, may I be safe, may I be peaceful and at ease. But the hard part is, then I ask them to think of their co-parent. May you be happy, may you be well, may you be safe, may you be peaceful and at ease. I don't like this person. What are you saying, Trina? Well, we don't have to wish it to our co-parent because they deserve it, but our children deserve two parents that are at their best selves. So we want our co-parent to be peaceful and at ease because our children deserve that. So it's
Trina,
the shift.
that is so beautiful. I love that because when you were saying that, I'm thinking, well, I don't want to wish that for my ex. Nobody does. There's a lot of anger, there's resentment. I mean, it's not like you want anything bad to happen to the person, but you're just like, whatever. You left me, you hurt me, you caused me pain. And so to wish it for your children is such a beautiful way to look at things. I absolutely love it. So everything that you're telling me is in your program called BEH2O. Is that true?
Yes,
All
so
right.
that is one of the things that we do in our program. It's a 16-week program where we actually work with two co-parents jointly at the same time, and people are like, no way, I do not, no way, shape, or form. But the reality is BH2O isn't therapy. It isn't. So it's completely different. And it's more so a way of life. It's a paradigm shift. And what really fills me up is when my graduates say that not only is my co-parenting relationship better, my life's better.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now let me ask you this. What if someone is watching this and they have a co-parent who says, I would never do this program. I don't want to look at you like the co-parent is not going to participate. Can somebody do the BEH2O program by themselves?
So we do have an individual version, but we really want both parents. And so usually when they come through the intake process or they watch one of the our ambassadors, which are our graduates, who I have one gentleman, his name is Todd, and I was furious to come in the program, right? And he's now talking out in public and doing videos about it only takes one and just be curious. Or another mom who was so anxious. So the reality is, we want to invite our co-parent to have an intake appointment or to watch videos from past participants, because we are not going to argue about what you all argued about last week, last month, or last year, because I, all due respect, don't care. We're not going to get in the water with you because we're going to drown. Your old relationship, we are not going to try to repair that. We're shutting it down. We're making that one obsolete, and we're building a new relationship. I think oftentimes our mindset or our paradigm is off. So then we're looking at our co-parent as an obstacle or an adversary. The research shows that the duration and the degree of conflict is the best predictor of whether or not your children will fare well. It's not conflict itself. It's the duration and the degree of conflict. So if we can look at conflict with curiosity and get as much information as we feasibly can to make the most well-rounded decisions for our kids, our shared mission of raising happy, healthy kids is going to be a success. We're going to have a successful business.
Trina, this is all amazing. I'm like in awe of this. I want to do the program now, and I've been divorced for 18 years. And I do have to say my kids are healthy, but one thing I notice is that in the times that my ex and I get along, because it sort of goes like this. It's like sometimes we get along, and then there's like periods of time where we don't, maybe for a few months, and then we do, and then something happens and we don't. And the times that we are getting along, I want to tell people watching this, my kids who are adults are the happiest. You can see it on their faces. They're like calm and relaxed, and they love seeing their parents smile at each other and say hello and be kind. And even though if we're in like one of those periods where we're not getting along, you can see it on their faces. They're so uncomfortable. And so it's like you have to ask yourself, aren't your kids worth it? And of course, everybody watching is going to say they are. And Trina and I both know it's not easy. It's not easy to put your kids in ahead and say, I'm going to do this for my kids. It's not even easy because the amount of anger and resentment and hatred that can happen because of things that happened in your marriage and your divorce is a lot. Do you
Well,
agree?
yeah, I agree, Jackie, but I also struggle because it doesn't require you to be best friends. It doesn't require you to sit by each other at basketball games. What it requires is to have some mutual respect for one another and be able to really assess what is the cost. So, for example, yes, it would be absolutely amazing if we could have a shared birthday party together. But if the reason we want to have a shared birthday party together is for our child to have an amazing time, and each of us are not our best selves in the same room together, then the cost of having a shared birthday party together is too high. So, accepting that, having compassion for yourself and one another, right? And then creating a boundary around that for your kids. Mom and dad both love you very much, and we both want to support you in having a birthday party. So, mom is going to take the lead in even years, and dad's going to take the lead in odd years and be okay with it. They don't need you in the same place at the same time. They just need you to respect that each of you are going to play a role in their lives. Or maybe mom's a better birthday planner and dad's better at Boy Scouts. If we
And you know
want,
what? And those odd and even years, that might change. Just have a plan. And if you end up thinking you can have a party together at some point, then you could change it. It's not forever.
But then you have those conversations with your kids together and
Mhm,
both supporting this. So I
mhm.
just had a family graduate and we have a family meeting in BEH2O, and mom and dad are not at the place where they can sit by each other at basketball games. But they are at the place where they could both be at the basketball games. So we told the children that mom and dad, we both love you very, very much, but at basketball games, we're going to sit apart, not because we don't like each other, but because we're going to respect one another's privacy and space. So it's because we respect each other. But we want you to say hi to dad when mom brings you, and we want you to say hi to mom when dad brings you, and we will wave to each other. So now the kids don't have to be at the basketball game going, oh my gosh, there's going to be a fight. Oh, mom and dad don't like each other. That's why they're sitting apart. No, we shift the paradigm. They're sitting apart because they're respecting one another's privacy and space.
Trina, I absolutely adore you. I adore this program. It is amazing. You have just basically summed up my life. And both my kids were basketball players. And those poor kids, when they saw their parents sitting separately, I can't even imagine what they were thinking. And they're also thinking, I have to perform in the basketball game, which is what they should be thinking, not my parents. And had this program been available and we sat them down and just told them, it would have been a game changer. No pun intended. Trina, thank you so much. I am so excited to be working with you and having you as a Divorce Girl Smiling Trusted Professional. This program is amazing. I want to tell my listeners and viewers, if you want to learn more about the BEH2O program, you can go to thelaneproject.com and then go to BEH2O. It has its own page, and you can do the program. And you can also, if you're a divorce professional listening to this, you can become a BEH2O ambassador. Is that what you call it?
It's a BEH2O certified coach. So you don't have to do the program through the Lane Project. We're located in Kansas. I have 4 BEH2O certified coaches who are actually doing this virtually now. So it opens it up to the whole nation, and they're filling cohorts right now. For the BEH2O certified coach training, we have our next cohort for training in April. And you could go to BEH2Ocoaching.com if you're interested in certification.
Well, thank you again, Trina. Loved having you on and hearing about BEH2O.
Thanks, Jackie.
And to everybody watching, thank you so much. And if you want to find BEH2O, you can also find them in the trusted professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling, which is divorcedgirlsmiling.com.